Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritualite, and we are here for another research video. And this one is about the Lions Gate. And so, um, I had the question of what exactly were the celestial signs that the Lions Gate was open, not the date, not whether I didn't want to know about that. What I want to know is what are the signs? How is it that uh people have known for thousands of years that this particular celestial event was occurring? And so this took me down a whole rabbit hole of information, which is it literally it ended up connecting the last three videos that I did, research videos that I did, and we will get to that. So first, here is the wheel. Of course, we talk about this wheel from time to time, um, of the celestial movements. And this is for today. Yes, this is for today, 6 a.m. That's when I normally put the wheel. And I wanted to point out a couple things on here. Number one, um, the 10th house. I have said this, but I'm going to say it again because it's kind of one of those things that nobody else is discussing, so I pretty much have to discuss it. Otherwise, it will completely go over people's heads in general. But I want to point out that in the 10th house, which is the house of the father, you have Uranus. And Uranus is not typically tied to the 10th house. So I wanted to just address that really quick because it's usually tied to the 12th house. However, that's the father's house, and Uranus is the representation of the father energy, and therefore Uranus being in the 10th house will be the father in the father's house. So I just wanted to address that really quick. But as you can see by this chart, I'm not really sure what I would be looking for to determine if I could, if the Lions Gate was open, if it was closed, or what that meant exactly. So I just want to point out that everything is not, in a program, in a software. Sometimes you really just have to look a little bit deeper. So I did want to point that out. All right, so the Lionsgate portal, this is a little meme I found. It says opening July 26th to August 12th. And one of the things is what really pointed me in a direction to look, right? So, and it's the one with the little dog shape. And it says occurs when the Earth aligns with the star system Sirius. And I said, well, how would you know if the Earth was aligning with the Sirius star system? Where would that information come from? How would you figure that out? And so, I went looking to see how the portal is activated. And so I'm not going to read everything off of all of these slides because there's a lot of information, but you can go back, of course, pause and read it for yourself. So the Lionsgate portal is activated by the rising of the star Sirius, and this takes place from the end of July all through the middle of August. However, the numerology of 8-8 and the sun reaching the halfway point or 15 degrees of the Leo zodiac at this time, which is the peak of lion energy, has made August 8th the day that we celebrate the portal. Sirius considered our spiritual sun, so the rising and return of Sirius was seen by ancient astrologers as the rebirth of our spirit and the spirit energy of the planet. The rising Sirius also corresponded with the rainy season and the flooding of the Nile, further supporting this idea of rebirth through the nourishing rain. Some cultures also use the rising of Sirius to signify the start of their new year. I just want to pause here because um as a Virgo, I always started my New Year's Eve was my birthday, and my New Year started the day of after my birthday. I did that for so long, and I couldn't I never seen anybody do that anywhere else, and now I know that this is this is what people do when you have a new birth. You start your new year after that. Okay. So this is an ancient thing. I had no idea where it came from that I was doing. And that will come up again and again. All right, so more about Sirius. Sirius is one of the brightest stars in the sky and is known as our spiritual sun. While the earthly sun illuminates our physical world, which is an illusion, our spiritual sun illuminates the truth of our timeless soul. The ancients were very in tune with the star Sirius as they believed it was the gateway to the heaven and the home of higher vibrational beings. They believed the energy of Sirius carried highly advanced wisdom. That should be a key for you right there, that we could tap into and utilize whenever Sirius was strong in the sky. While our sun is responsible for beaming down life of our physical bodies, Sirius is responsible for being down life of our spiritual bodies. This is why the opening of the Lionsgate portal can bring awakenings and lift our consciousness to new heights. Um, let's see. We're gonna skip this about 8-8. We're gonna skip this about the Lionsgate. Okay, so let's look at this. This is what Sirius actually looks like in the sky, and I think it's important to understand about these astrological things is that it is a physical thing you can see. Like, too many of us are intellectualized things, and we don't understand that these are physical occurrences that we can physically see with our own eyes. Some of the stuff we can't see, but some of the stuff we can see. So we have to understand it's important to go out, look at the sky. Of course, I've been talking about grounding. It's very important. The earth mother needs us to do this right now, and I understand now why it was so heavy for today, yesterday, whatever. I can understand that. So, and it's in a particular star system known as the Canis Major. And here's the facts about Sirius. The luminosity is 25.4 times greater than the sun. The radius is about 1.5 times of the sun. The surface temperature is 4,000 kelvins higher than the sun, and the distance is about 8 light years um, from here. Um, the visual magnitude, let me go back to the top real quick, is negative 1.46, making it the brightest star in the night sky. All right, so here's another visual representation of Sirius, but this time they have some of the other animals and other whatever drawn in so that you can see that these are physical things that are connected to us. Uh, Anyway, I won't go into that right now. Astro Backyard. This is where I got those first all of these pictures from. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky, and then so I went to see. So basically, once I figured out that okay, this whole Sirius thing, if the Lions Gate is open, is at its peak, when did the Sirius portal open? Because technically what they're celebrating is the peak of it being open, right? But when did it actually open? So the other places said that it was open like the middle of June or whatever date it said, right? However, I just was like, well, when is the Sirius portal open? Totally different line of research. This takes us to something somewhere totally different that has nothing to do with the Lions Gate actual portal, but has to do with the Sirius portal. So I want to note for our people that some first of all, before I go into this, the way the Gentiles think about things is the absolute wrong way. We have to get away from taking their terms and using them the way that they use them, because technically it doesn't matter when the Lionsgate portal is at its peak or so on or so forth. That's completely irrelevant. What we want to know is when the Sirius portal opens. When can we access the Sirius energy? The Lionsgate is neither here nor there. I'll go back real quick. This is what they want you to use the Lionsgate energy for. Sit in the sun and meditate and absorb light codes. Be open to flashes of brilliance, intuition, and insight. Like, this is not how you use energy like this. We did a lesson a few weeks ago on harnessing energy versus harvesting energy. And this is one of those things where you can, by tracking the cosmic weather, alternate between harvesting the energy that comes in and harnessing the energy that's coming in. Not just, oh, meditate in the sun and journal and light codes, and that's, I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, that's how the Gentiles do it. But again, we need to have our own understanding. We need to have our own people interpreting these things and how to use it. So I'm not saying this is one of our own people here in this article, but I just want to point a few things out. So the Sirius Gateway itself opens the first week of July every year, from July 4th to July 8th this year. So pause. You mean to tell me that the founding of America occurred every year at the same time that the Sirius Gateway opens? Anybody find that to be odd? Is there anybody out here functioning on high enough vibrant frequency to see that literally the United States taps into this Sirius gateway every single year? Never told us about it, but instead gives you the Lion's Gate as some whatever to celebrate. Never talks about Sirius, never discusses that, but they have this Sirius gateway. Okay, so it says Sirius is the sun behind our sun, the true source of divine light in the local area of our galaxy. The Theosophists taught that Sirius is a major vortex of occult power, and occult is the secret power and wisdom and a source of mysteries of initiation of our planet. Oh, freeze frame. You mean to tell me that Sirius is the gateway that initiates us with the spiritual knowledge, and normally Americans are celebrating the 4th of July. Do you understand how insane this is? Like, this is why I wanted to come at this knowledge from a different perspective, because, to be honest, this is the most shocking information I have read in quite a while. And I've been reading a lot of shocking information. This was shocking. So, the Star Tarot card is a 17th card of the major arcana. It symbolizes healing, rejuvenation, hope, and inspiration and faith. Um, the guy Arthur Waite suggests a bright star on the card is Sirius, a dog star. As you can see, Sirius is even so. Again, if it's in the tarot is the Bible of Bibles. That means that somewhere in the Torah, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, there is discussion of this Sirius star. I haven't done a deep dive on that yet. If anybody already has, please feel free to link, because I would like to see another perspective on that particular thing. So, let's see. All right. During the special alignment, the solar logos receives a regenerating boost, and the hierarchy of the great divine ones who guide humanity's evolution come to shower the world with some added power and grace. So, as the world is getting showered with added power and grace, United States has its citizens out here celebrating the anniversary of the country. Do you know how insane that is? I'm sorry, I won't say that again. It's completely unbelievable. Um, This opening of the Sirius Gateway is related to the astronomical alignment of Sirius with Earth and the Sun, which happens when the Earth is at the aphelion, a word divided from the Greek apo, which means apart from, and Helios, the god of sun. Aphelion occurs when the Earth is when the Earth in its orbit is furthest from the Sun, about 94.5 million miles. And this exact one for this year was July 4th at 7:10 a.m. UTC, or 3:10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Earth at aphelion is moving slower in its orbit around the Sun than any other time of the year. This is an important time for us all to slow down and take some time to rest, recharge, too. So I want to point out here, this means that at the time of the summer solstice, the sun conquers the darkness because the earth actually slows down its rotation so that the sun is over top of the earth for a longer period of time. I just want to point that out because a lot of times, again, we think about stuff from such a purely, academic perspective, that we're not actually looking at the fact that the sun goes through this particular change to slow down its rotation so that the sun can conquer over the darkness. And then right after the solstice, the sun conquering over the darkness, you have Sirius coming back to refuel the sun. So just like we take a break after we do different things, after the sun does this amazing feat of conquering the darkness, Sirius comes in and replenishes the sun. All right, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Um, I won't talk about this. Here's another depiction of the Canis Major with the Sirius. Um, Let me say this real quick. According to the late fixed star astrologer Diana Rosenberg, the current Kali Yuga of the Hindu calendar is said to have begun with the death of Krishna on February 18th, 3102 BCE at the 0 hour. At this exact moment, Sirius was setting in the western horizon. Hold, Slim. 3102 BCE? How do they even have a calendar for that? Oh, maybe it's something called an ephemeris, which I have been discussing for ever now. That is literally the book of all the planetary movements that has ever happened in all of time. Okay? Anyway, I just thought I would throw that in there. At the exact moment, Sirius was setting on the western horizon. Okay. Um, all right, so the second week of August in mid latitude areas when Sirius will move out of the sun's bright rays and reappear in the east before sunrise. So, right now, if you looked into the sky, into the daytime sky, I guess, or the nighttime sky, you can't see Sirius. I don't really know what that means, so I'm going to actually be trying to wait for a clear day in Florida. I actually saw them spraying chemtrails last night, so I couldn't see the sky. But as soon as there is a clear day, I'm a clear night, I'm going to go out and see if I can see this actual star for myself. So here we have an article from the Vigilant Citizen from 2012. Now, some of y'all may be familiar with the Vigilant Citizen and some of you not. Vigilant Citizen is, first of all, I just Googled this and this article came up. I didn't actually go to this website. But if you're a recovering conspiracy theorist, much like me, then you would be very familiar with this website. This guy covers everything occult, everything strange, everything unusual. And this is where I first, actually, I was looking for information about the beings that were coming to visit in the portals and stuff like that, and I ended up on this website in the discussion board, and then from here I actually ended up into anthroposophy. So I've again my journeys to stuff is always so much different from everybody else. And so anyway, this is the Vigilant Citizen. I'm not going to read all of this because it is a lot, a whole lot. um let's see, I'm trying to find something I didn't already say. Last paragraph. Associating Sirius with the divine, even considering it as the home of humanity's great teachers, is not only embedded in the mythology of a few primitive civilizations, it is widespread belief that has survived and intensified to this day. So this is something that people, everybody knows but us. Again, I don't know how many times it's going to be something that everybody knows but us, but this seems to be coming up over and over again. So this is talking about ancient Egypt. I'm not going to. Oh, I'll stop. Started in the middle paragraph. The Egyptian calendar system was based on the hierarchical rising of Sirius that occurred just before the annual flooding of the Nile during the summer. The star's celestial movement was also observed and revered by the ancient Greeks, Sumerians, Babylonians, and countless other civilizations. The star was therefore considered sacred, and its apparition in the sky was accompanied with feasts and celebrations. Um, Bottom paragraph. Several occult researchers have claimed the Great Pyramid of Giza was built in perfect alignment with the stars, especially Sirius. I'm not going to read this whole quote, but look at this. So I just want to point out this too. This is probably going to sound crazy. I know it's going to sound crazy. But you have Sirius that aligns with the Queen's Chamber, and there's an air shaft that goes literally from Sirius to the Queen's Chamber. Then you have Orion's Belt, which aligns with the King's Chamber, and then you have these other things that align, and you have this dome that sort of forms around the period. So, how much of a stretch is it to say that the organite is based off this concept of the star being inside the earth, and you put the gold and this and or whatever stuff inside of the orgon pyramids with the spirals, which the king's chamber looks like a spiral, and the crystal coming out of it. How much of a stretch is it to link this particular picture to the orgon? I don't, especially the pyramids. I don't think it's that big of a stretch. And I just want to point that out. I'm sure it sounds nuts, but I see it, so I'm going to say it. All right. Because you have a spiral thing there, it's got a point. You have another chamber with a point on it. You have things that go in and out and through it. And remember, as above, so below. So yeah, I see that. Um, let's see. Here we go. Several Aboriginal tribes of North America refer to the star in canine terms. The Siri and Tohono O'odham tribes of the Southwest describe Sirius as a dog that follows mountain sheep. Like a herder of the sheep. And while Blackfoot calls it dog face, the Cherokee pairs Sirius with Antares as a dog star guardian of the path of souls. The Wolf Skeety tribe of Nebraska knew it as the Wolf Star, while other branches knew it as the Coyote Star. Further north, the Alaskan Inuit of the Bering Strait called it the moon dog. Okay. Um, Now this is where I got into a whole nother thing, and I just want to read this. In 1971, the American author Robert Temple published a controversial book called The Sirius Mystery, where he claimed the Dogons, an ancient African tribe from Mali, knew details about Sirius that would be impossible to know without the use of telescopes, which he has a picture of a big giant telescope. I didn't get the link. According to him, the Dogon understood the binary nature of Sirius, which is in fact composed of two stars named Sirius A and Sirius B. I'm pretty sure there's a third star as well, based on some other information. This led Robert Temple to believe that Dogons had direct connections with the beings from Sirius. While some might say you can't be serious, a great number of secret societies and belief systems teach about a mystic connection between Sirius and humanity. So, prior to even the discussion of this gateway, had you ever thought about what it meant? Had you ever thought about why Lionsgate? Where is it? No. The key to this whole event, awakening part for us, for our people, is to look into Sirius and how we can align with Sirius and how we can uh, uh, get to know more about Sirius, the star, planet, not Lionsgate asking for stuff, light codes, whatever. We need to be connecting with Sirius, and we already missed the portal when the portal opened, and the portal is going to close soon, But this is just something to think about, like how do you connect? How can you connect with Sirius? That's what I want to know after all of this. All, all right. Um, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Um, let's see. I'm gonna pick up in the middle here. In occult traditions, it is believed that Thoth, Hermes, Enoch had taught the people of Atlantis, which, according to legend, became the world's most advanced civilization before the entire continent was submerged by the Great Deluge, which they call the flood, but we know that's not why it was submerged. It was submerged because these crazy people and this technology. All right. Survivors from Atlantis traveled by boat to several countries, including Egypt, where they imparted their advanced knowledge. Occultists believe that the inexplicable resemblance between distant civilizations, such as the Mayas and the Egyptians, can be explained by their common contact with the Atlanteans, which is our people. So I'm not going to read this. This is about the Atlanteans. More information about the Atlanteans. Um, I'm not going to read this. Uh, okay, let me read the top of this. The Trismegistic treatise, the Virgin of the World from Egypt, refers to the Black Rite connected with the Black Osiris as the highest degree of secret initiation possible in the ancient Egyptian religion. It is the ultimate secret of the mysteries of Isis. The mysteries of Isis? What? Okay, I'm just gonna pause there. Tell me, explain to me why the mysteries of Isis is at the top of the treatise of the Black Osiris, of the Black Rite. Why would the mysteries of Isis be the deepest held secret? Furthermore, where else did we just hear about the deepest held secret that no one knows about? They never talked about it. This would be my lesson on the Druids and the Trino Sophia. I had no idea that this was going to connect to that. Isis is Sophia, the Holy Mother, the one of the 12 incarnations, or the four and the three. That's one of them is Isis. Isis is the Holy Mother. That is what it is. And so these people have the Black Rite, which is connected with the Black Osiris, which is the secret of the mysteries of Isis, which I poorly attempted to explain to you the other day. Extremely poorly. I am not good at talking about Sophia at all whatsoever. However, that is the mysteries. What I discuss, what's in that book, what's in those Gospel of Sophia books is the mysteries of Isis, what they don't want you to know. Okay? What they really don't want you to know. All right. The Virgin of the World. Hello, Christo Sophia. The Queen of Heaven. All right, I'm not gonna read any of this because Lord, um, we've got another a Manly P. Hall quote here. Let's read this last paragraph, this last sentence. The unclothed figure of Isis. So that star card is Isis, okay? May well signify that nature does not receive her garment of vinditure until rising of the Nile's waters releases the germinal life of plants and flowers. So basically, she's covered with the nature, covered with the earth of nature. So Vision Citizen, of course, this is what they do. They go into where you can see all of these things. In Masonic lodges, Sirius is known as a blazing star. All right, so here's a picture of the star, and it is crazily, it is two five-pointed stars put together. And if you have looked at any of the beloved brother Adir Bay's videos, he has been talking about the black or he has talked about in the past the black man basically and the upright man with the Adam Cogman. So this is literally a combined representation of that. Okay, so here's another version of the blazing star, which is totally different. Here's another version of this. So Um, Sirius is therefore the sacred place all Masons must ascend to, is a source of divine power and the destination of divine individuals. This concept is often represented in Masonic art. So this is the journey. Sounds kind of like Jacob's ladder. Sounds kind of like ascending to the top of the tree of life. Sounds kind of like uh, uh, the path to heaven, the road of perdition, the straight and narrow path up the tree. I mean, this symbology it encapsulates so much of what we have been researching in the last few months that I cannot believe nobody thought, where did this come from? What does this actually mean? So all right, so here's another hieroglyph that represents Sirius, which is a phallic obelisk representing Osiris, a womb-like dome, and then a star representing Horus, the first Christ, and Isis, the female, is the dome. Where have you seen that before? Hello, if you've ever been to Washington, D.C., this is where I'm from. You have George Washington's giant cock, and then at the end of the walkway for the cock is the Senate building where my grandfather and great grandfather, wait, grandfather, great grandfather, great grandfather, and great great grandfather worked. Four generations of my family worked inside of this particular of the Capitol. So, and not like cleaning, like that's not the type of people I come from on that side. I do, but not my grandfather. So, but where's the star? See, the whole thing about this is if you have a obelisk and you have a thing, where's the star? Technically, it is my um assertion that the star is the people, but someone else may be able to find it somewhere else on this map. There's lots of stars in DC because we have a lot of circles. So there's not just one star, there's a lot of stars that look in this same map. Actually, Thomas Circle looks like this. Union Station Circle is like a half version of this. We have circles all the way up 16th Street that all look like this, and they're putting in more circles that look like this every day. So this is just to say, like, they know what this is not an accident. This obelisk and this is not an accident. This is not by accident. All right, so here's another Jacob's ladder. See what I mean? Like they just well, you got the sun and the moon and the star in the middle. And you've got the pillar of severity and the pillar of Boaz. I mean, this is the tree of life. No, I mean, this is not even where I'm trying to figure out where's the devil in here. You have the sun, you have the moon, you have the middle path. Christ is on the middle path. Where is the devil? Please tell me. Somebody, what is the checkerboard floor? The devil is in the checkerboard floor. Is he? Is he for real? This is what you want me to believe. The devil is in the checkerboard floor, right? Okay, here's some more stars. The Eye of Horus, surrounded by the glow of Sirius. And here we go. They call it the all-seeing eye. Now, um, the dollar bill. Here you go. Is the Eye of Horus, surrounded in the shadow or blocking out the main light of the star of Sirius. So that's what that is. So the ordering of the Eastern Star. Now, I'm not even going to go into all of this, but the Order of the Eastern Star is directly named after Sirius, the star rising from the east. A general public explanation of the origins of the order's name claims it originated from the Star of the East that led the three magi's to Jesus. A look into the occult meaning, let's not even go into that because we're not even talking right there. Then we have Helena Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, which we all had know, we're extremely into this esoteric stuff. They really were the women of the esoteric movement. And then of course we have good old Crowley, the interpreter, who somehow is satanic, just because he looked at well, he didn't even look at the stars. They gave him some work to translate. He might not have even done the translating himself, to be honest. If you know how stupid these people are, I'm starting to believe that some of this stuff was actually written in English that we speak now, and they back translated it to other languages to just bring more confusion because that would make more sense to me. All right, so I'm not going to read this either. I just wanted to have this as this article is so long, and do you know after this whole article there was still more like after this. Like I just want to point out this is the sun behind the sun, the true source of occult power. Okay. So then I went and found the book, The Serious Mystery. Of course, they have it on archive. Of course, it's you have to rent it. So me, I always do what I do. I screenshot it. So um, let's just talk about this. So I just wanted to point out this picture because if you're thinking, that looks kind of familiar, where do I remember seeing that? Well, in this book, which is the one we discussed the other day, the Druids had a similar circle. Now, of course, it's not the exact same, but it is the same because in this circle, I would imagine that they just didn't capture the outer ring. They just have the two rings because the outer ring is not encapsulated. Therefore, you now have a connection between the Druids, these doggone people, Sirius, and which means that this information is information that we need to have. We need to be looking into Sirius. We don't It's not that we need to look away from the stars. We need to look at certain stars and what certain stars are doing so that we can draw our information and our understanding and our connection to these certain stars. So I just want to point out this is one of their drawings. This is one of the doggone. Now I'm going to go into all. I'm going to do a whole nother lesson on this particular book right here because I seen so much of what I just been researching and the videos I just put out in this book that if I had not done the videos already and you could see that they were time stamped and you can clearly see that I downloaded this book today at 2:53 p.m. It is now 4:42 p.m. when I'm recording this, that you would think that I took it from this book. For example, something I didn't put a screenshot of. Um and wait, one more thing. Saturn with its ring. This is a doggone drawing. Now, maybe Saturn with its ring. However, like I said, we already have here. This is and we don't know if this is what the druid circles look like either because this is just what they put in the book. So it could be that it looked more like this. So anyway, something that came up in this book, The Sirius Mystery. There is a story about the serpent's tooth. And the story of the serpent's tooth is extremely similar to the story of the serpent's egg and the use of the saliva from the serpent's tooth to make the serpent's egg. And so I have to go. I wanted to get this video out and I didn't want to delay the people going and looking doing some more further research into Sirius, but all I can say is this. It doesn't matter when the portal is open. I don't care about that. What I want to know is what what are we supposed to be getting from Sirius right now? This particular Sirius gate has been open since the 4th of July. What are we supposed to be getting from out of that portal right now? Furthermore, the information about doing the fast came up once this portal was open. And I just want to point that out. Also, I find that when the time the gate first opened, I had a dream, which I sent over to the brother, that I never have dreams, but I had a dream when this gate opened. So that is to say, there's a lot of stuff with the planets. We really need to be paying attention. There's some more stuff that I found from doing this particular research that I will be able to bring up. But I just want to point out that, like, it's not just about looking in places where you're not supposed to look. It's also about thinking about them in ways that you wouldn't normally think about them. Had I not said, well, how do you know when this lion gate is open? I would never have thought about Sirius. I wouldn't know what Sirius is. I would just be like, oh, Sirius XM. I would not have ever put the connection together that we need to actually look at the actual stars. I knew I was getting a message from the Holy Mother that we needed to ground, and I thought, maybe they need our energy, and it is possible that they need our energy, but also maybe they just need us to look up and look at the sky and observe what's going on, because soon the portal is going to close and you'll be able to see Sirius again. What will happen before the portal closes? That should happen, anytime in the next week or so. So we have a whole week of this energy that's coming in to try and harvest and harness what we can. And again, we don't want to do this thing like the Gentiles do, taking the energy, calling into beings, giving them illicit demands. We want to be respectful. We want to be understanding. We want to give when we take. We just don't want to be like the Gentiles and how they do things. So that is to say, of course, go and do your own research. But me personally, I don't care when the gate open. I don't care about this Lions Gate at all. All I want to know is, when does a Sirius portal close, and how do I engage with those particular beings before the close of the portal? And that's all that really matters to me. So, again, this is your girl Sophia Spiritualite. To the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom, everyone.